If your latte art sucks, it could be the mug you're using. I'm Sean, I teach the coffee classes here at Seattle Coffee Gear, and here are the latte art secrets you should know to start making better latte art. And as I said, it could be the mug you're using. Tall and narrow cups, like to-go cups or paper cups, are really difficult to pour latte art into. They make it hard to see what's going on, and they don't give you as much time to pour complex designs. The best cups for latte art are going to be shorter and have a bowl-like shape. That shape encourages the milk to flow outward and help your design wrap around. It also helps you get closer to the surface of the drink earlier in the pour, which is key to adding lots of detail and keeping your shapes crisp. So now that we know what's happening, let's talk about mugs that you actually want to use. Starting off with, we have the Acme cappuccino and latte cups. These cups are awesome. They are that short bowl-like shape, and ultimately, how much coffee do you want? Pick the size that's going to work best for you. Then we're moving over here into the not neutral cortado and cappuccino glasses. These still have that bowl-like shape, so we're going to get a good flow for our latte art, just in a fun, different aesthetic and style. And if we are stuck using a non-traditional or more stylish coffee mug, know that the latte art is going to be a little more challenging because the milk flow won't behave in the same way. Another secret I have is how to practice without wasting too much milk. Practicing latte art can take a lot of milk, more than you might think. But luckily, there are a bunch of ways to practice without wasting a bunch of milk. This works whether you're learning at home or are behind the bar at a cafe. First up is the dish soap trick. Mix a little bit of dish soap with water and it actually steams up like milk. This is great when you're still practicing on building up microfoam, which is the starting block for latte art. The only catch is that it doesn't pour very well, it splits, so it doesn't work when we're actually practicing our art pours. The second method, and my preferred method, is BCB drops. That stands for Barista Carl's Blend, and they're drops that you add to water to make it steam and pour like milk. We actually used these in our latte art classes, and we tested a lot of things to get there, from cinnamon, spent coffee puck grounds, dish soap, and these ultimately worked the best. If you watch a lot of latte art on social media, you're going to be tempted to start wiggling the pitcher as you pour. I see this all the time, and I totally get why people want to do it. However, if you're just beginning, the more important things to consider are a steady pour and getting the right angles down first. Once you've mastered the basics, then you can start to add the wiggle and create more complex shapes. A latte art pour from the pitcher side of things breaks down into 3 steps. Here's the order of what we're gonna do with just the pitcher itself while we're pouring. Step 1, we need to lay the foundation, getting foam from the pitcher into our cup, but beneath the espresso, totally invisible. To make sure that happens, we're gonna be 3 to 5 inches above our cup, so that way it's hitting with enough force to dive underneath. Up next, we are going to set the canvas. To do that, letting all of that foam we've just put underneath the espresso rise to the surface, we are going to stop pouring and take 2 breaths. This creates a thicker working surface for which we can lay our design on top of. Finally, we're gonna get into design. The goal of design is to get as close as possible so the milk will be flowing out away from the pitcher, blooming into our design. We'll do that by tilting our cup aggressively, getting as close as we can with the pitcher, and then pouring nice, steady, and confident until we fill our cup all the way up and cutting off. Up next, we're gonna talk about how to hold the mug. The handle placement matters. When we're holding the cup, when we're starting our latte art pour, I actually like to tilt it a little bit so the espresso is deeper, making it easier for the foam to dive underneath the crema. And then as we are pouring, we are going to be slowly leveling out the cup, maintaining that pouring distance from the pitcher to our beverage, so that way it's going to gradually fill up and we'll have a lot of clarity in our design. This will apply from designs as simple as the monk's head all the way through like our winged unicorns and whatever we want to build our latte art into. So practicing this early and often will help add clarity and precision to your latte art. Once you're about halfway to 3/4 of the way full, you'll notice that you are leveling out the cup. Now, let's talk about presentation. If you're making coffee for someone else, or let's be honest, for yourself, and you want it to look good, handle placement matters. For a right-handed coffee drinker, it's really important that the handle is facing towards you while you pour your design. This makes it so that the bottom of the design is on the far side of the cup, so when you're holding it, the design is facing you. If you're serving a left-handed coffee drinker, point the handle away for the same result. Now, at the end of the day, this isn't really that important unless a latte art competition is in your future. Those are often judged for right-handed judges, and you need to be mindful of that position for professional presentation. And my last secret for the day is don't start your latte art learning with the rosetta. Here's the best order to start with to work your way up through the process. Start off with the monk's head, then try out a heart, then a simple tulip, winged heart, and then finally, you can give that rosetta a try. What you need to have for good latte art is a quality espresso shot with rich, balanced crema right on top, along with perfectly steamed milk. To pour latte art, start by pouring in the center of the mug from higher up. Assess that your canvas is built correctly. The milk that you've just poured is underneath the espresso layer now. Finish the pour by lowering the pitcher to the surface of your beverage and start to create your microfoam shapes. Earlier, I mentioned latte art classes at Seattle Coffee Gear. If you are local to the Seattle area or are coming in town for a visit, be sure you check out our website to see our class schedule. They sell out pretty early, so if that's something you're interested in, sign up quick. And if you're not local, we have a lot of educational videos about coffee on our YouTube channel, so be sure to check those out.